inspired you to go into politics and who inspires you now?
I guess I got inspired to go into politics when my younger brother Adam was born with a form of autism, and I was a moody, opinionated teenager living in Greystones, and I was very frustrated that there wasn't enough information out there about how to support people with autism, and there weren't enough schools to look after and provide for the educational needs of people with autism. So I decided to do something about it, and I remember calling a public meeting in my hometown, and I asked anybody living with autism or anybody related to anybody with autism to come along. And so many people turned up that night, and we started campaigning to make sure that the new secondary school that was being built near where I lived would have classes and supports for children with autism. And slowly but surely, I suppose I got sucked into politics from that. The people who inspire me now and the people who inspire me as I do my work are the people that I meet every day. The great thing about this job isn't the sitting in the office bit, it's the actually getting a chance to go out around the country and meet so many people. Meeting the guards, meeting nurses, meeting doctors, meeting street cleaners, meeting people working in shops, meeting people on farms. I get great energy from meeting people right across this country, and I have to say, I find out so many people right across this country are really decent and always up for having a chat.
We are strong, capable of, brave, camping so, and we are present for Taoiseach. Let's go over to Ava to hear what it is.
What are your plans for Arland now that you're the new Taoiseach?
Well, hello to everybody in fifth class, and I hope you're all well in Sligo, a county I've visited many times over the last few years. In my last job, we set up a new university in Sligo, the Atlantic Technological University, and I know it's going really, really well. My plan for Ireland is I want to make sure we live in a country where every single person, no matter who you are, what part of the country you come from, what your mum or dad worked as or did before you, whether you're a boy or a girl, can reach your full potential. I want to live in a country that makes sure that we put lots of money that we have in this country to good use to create a society and a community that can deliver for you. So I think that's my job. My job is to make sure that your dreams can become a reality and that you can reach your full potential.
Hi, my name is Isabel and I'm in 5th class Bushy Park National School in Galway. And my question to Taoiseach is, how are you going to balance being the father of 2 young children and the Taoiseach of Ireland?
Well, thanks so much, Isabel, for the question. And I obviously have a very important job to do as Taoiseach, and I take that very seriously, and I'm going to work very hard at it. But the most important job I'll ever have in my life is being a dad. And I obviously have 2 children, as you say, Saoirse, who is 5, and Cillian, who's 2.5. And yes, I'm going to be very busy, but I'm still going to be there for them as their dad, and I'm going to work really hard to do them proud.
We are very concerned about the rising global temperatures. What does your government plan to do to tackle this serious issue?
Well, hello to Miss Hayes' 4th class, and thank you for asking me this really important question, because we have to make sure that we look after our planet. And you're so right to be concerned about it, because our planet isn't doing very well at the moment. We know that we have what we call climate change happening, and we're seeing lots of effects in Ireland and across the world now of extreme weather events. So we have to take action. So the government that I lead has put in place a plan, and that plan means we have to all do things that are going to help our planet. But I'm also very conscious that the government has to help you do that. So what we have to say to, for example, to farmers, yes, you might need to farm in a different way, but we still need you to farm because we still need you to produce food, and farming is a very important job. So what I need to do as the Taoiseach is make sure, as we ask people to change their school or their workplace or their house or how they live, that we don't just give out to you about climate change, but that we actually make it easier for you to make those changes. Lots of people, including maybe lots of your mums and dads, might, when they change the car, get an electric vehicle because that's a better car to drive for the environment. Some of your parents might be doing jobs to the house to make the house more energy efficient so that your house doesn't emit as many pollutants into the air. There's lots of practical things we can do, but you know this, I absolutely know that young people get this, and young people always lead the way in our country in making the changes that we need to make. And I want to encourage each of you to keep the pressure on me and everybody around you to do the right things by our planet.
Hello, Mr. Harris, from all in the senior autism class in CPS Charleville Primary School. Our question for you is, how are you going to help improve the healthcare system in Ireland? Bye!
Well, hello to CBS in Charleville. I hope you're all doing well. And thank you for asking me the question about health. Health is so important. It's what we all have. It's more important than anything else, having our health. And there are lots of good things that are happening in Ireland with health. People are living longer. People who get sick are having better outcomes. So many more people now get better after they get sick, even when they get serious illness. But what I need to do is make sure that we don't just continue to spend lots of money on the health service, and we are doing that. Have to make sure we spend the money in the right way. So one of the things I want to do is make sure that this year the health service hires at least 2,000 extra people to work in our hospitals and in our health services. That means more doctors, more nurses, more speech and language therapists, lots of people to help you should you get sick. The other thing though I think we have to do when it comes to health in Ireland is not just talk about what we do when people get sick. We also have to talk about how we keep people healthy. And that's why I want to work with schools like yours to make sure that you have opportunities for PE, to make sure that we talk about healthy eating, to make sure that we promote vaccination, and to make sure that we can keep you healthy, because obviously nobody wants to get sick in the first place.
Did you enjoy school? What was your favourite subject?
Well, hello to the boys and girls in Bracken Educate Together National School, and thanks so much for the question. I really did enjoy school. I was very lucky to go to school in my community, where I got to go with lots of my friends from where I lived, and had great friends in school who I'm still friends with today. So I think some of the friends that you'll make in school today may end up being friends for your whole life, and that's one of the great exciting things about school. I liked lots of different subjects in school, but I particularly liked English and history. And they're two subjects that really stand to me today, because in my job as Taoiseach now you have to do a lot of reading and you have to do a lot of speaking. And also I think it's really important we know about our history, because as we plan for the future, it's really good to know about the past and learn from the lessons of the past.
How do you feel about being the youngest Taoiseach Ireland has ever had?
Well, I'm honoured to be the Taoiseach, and thanks so much to the students in Bracken Educate Together National School for asking me this. I am honoured to be Taoiseach. It's a great honour and a privilege. Only 16 people in Ireland have ever had the opportunity to be Taoiseach, so that's something I take very seriously. And it is a particular honour to be the youngest Taoiseach, but I'm really conscious that being Taoiseach isn't about me. It's not about me, or it's not about how I feel. It's actually about what I can try to do to help you, to help your family, and to help our country. So I'm really conscious that there's a lot of responsibility on me to come to work every day and try to make a difference. And I set myself a little rule that every day when I come to work, I want to do 2 good things to try and help make our country better.
We are from Kilbarry National School, Macroom, County Cork.
Our question for the Taoiseach is, if you weren't a politician, what do you think you would be?
Well, the first thing is I'd like to do this job for a little while, because I'm only in it a couple of weeks. But when I was in school, when I started secondary school, and the career guidance teacher asked me what would I like to be when I grow up, and we each had to do a project in the school on what we'd like to be, I said I wanted to be a vet. So that was definitely something I was interested in. Then when I left school and went to college, I wanted to be a journalist. So I kept changing my mind, and that's okay to change your mind in life. So I'm not sure where I would have ended up in the end if I wasn't a politician. But growing up, I definitely had a big interest in animals and definitely wanted to be a vet.
Hello, my name's Tara, and this is Mrs. Monaghan's 5th class in John Scotus Primary School.
Hello!
And my question is, as Taoiseach, will you continue to support children with special education needs in school and college by providing more school and college places? Slide!
Tara, thank you so much for this question. It's something very close to my heart, and the answer is absolutely yes. When I became Taoiseach, one of the first things I did was set up a new committee of the government to work on disability issues, because I want to use my job as the head of the government to make sure we bring all the different ministers together who have a responsibility to people with disabilities, to make sure we can improve the lives of people with disabilities in Ireland. And that means, as you say, a couple of things. It definitely means making sure we provide enough school places, supports in schools, therapies, and the various things a student with additional needs might require. It also means making sure that when somebody with special educational needs finishes school, that they have the same options and opportunities as anybody else. So one of the things I did in my last job was make sure that we set up new college courses specifically for students with intellectual disabilities. And as Taoiseach, I want to make sure we continue that work.
How did you feel when you became Taoiseach?
Well, hello to the students in St Mary's. I was delighted to be in Kilkenny recently. What a great city and county you have, and I know Thomastown well. When I became Taoiseach, I felt a real sense of honour. I was humbled, and I really was looking forward to and excited to do the job. But I also felt a great sense of responsibility, because I know I need to do a good job, and I know there's lots of things we need to try and get right in this country, including building more houses and making sure that young people like you have so many opportunities when you leave school.
Packed or
So I love all animals, and growing up I had lots of animals: rabbits, hamsters, budgies, fish. I had a cat called Bailey, and I had loads of dogs, including rescue dogs. So I do love all animals, but I particularly love dogs. We got a new puppy in my parents' house in the last couple of weeks called Teddy. He's a little rescue pug, so I love dogs.
Twix or Snickers?
I also love chocolate and have a bit of an addiction to chocolate. I find it gives me a little bit of energy, but I know you have to have a balanced diet. But Twix or Snickers, I'd go for Twix, and ideally out of the fridge, which is controversial, but chocolate out of the fridge is always better.
Hi, I'm Sal from 4th class here at Kilcorn National School, County Limerick. We would like to ask the Taoiseach, what advice would you give to children who would like to get into politics?
Sive, thanks a million for the question, and it's a really important one. So the advice I'd give any child or any person in Ireland who wants to get involved in politics is to go for it. It's not just something that's open to some people. We live in a country where anybody can become a politician. And can I also say this, politics isn't about men with grey hair or in suits shouting and roaring at each other in the Dáil. Maybe that's the clip you sometimes see in the news. What politics is really about is getting involved to make a difference. So if there's something in your school or something in the town or village you live in or something in the country or the world that annoys you or irks you or that you think could be made better, politics is a really good chance to get involved and try and make that positive change. So my advice is really simple. If you believe you can make a difference, if you care about your community and your country, go for it. And can I also say, Sive, we need lots more girls and women involved in politics, so I hope that's something you might think about.